Hey, my name is Jesse Dow, and I'm a top 100 influencer agent here at eXp Realty. I'm also a six-time Icon agent, and I've closed over 832 transactions on the eXp platform. I've generated over $1.1 million in revenue share, and I've also earned an incremental $200,000 in eXp Realty stock through the Culture Program. Now, this channel gives you elite behind-the-scenes access to real numbers, real strategies, and updates here at eXp Realty so you can make the most informed decision for you and your business. Now, if you are a serious agent like I assume you are, and you want multiple revenue streams and real growth, consider subscribing to the channel because this is exactly for you. And today I'm going to go through the 10 things you need to consider or know about before signing up with eXp Realty. Now, I've seen agents join eXp Realty and make 5, 6, even 7 figures in revenue share like myself. There's even agents that are making 8 figures in revenue share. And I've seen other agents come on and leave in absolute frustration. Now, I want to make sure that you avoid those pain points, and I want you to understand how eXp works so you're not wasting your time or anyone else's. In the world of real estate, time is our best commodity that we are all dealt with in equal fashion. So the more you know and the more informed you are, the more specific actions you can take for your business. You know, I have brought in over 1,000 agents into my organization. And the one thing I always talk to agents about, because I've never been a hardcore recruiter, I'm not picking up the phone, I'm not cold calling, I'm not like hardcore closing anyone. And if you're watching this and you want to schedule a call with me, you can schedule right here on my QR code or text message me, email me down in the description. But the one thing that you'll get to know about me is it's all about being informed. You know, I let my actions and my resources and our trainings and our success stories speak for themselves, right? There's no convincing needed when you see what it is that people have to offer. So I'm gonna go through this list of 10 items you must know before joining eXp, so that way you are fully informed. Now, the one thing I want to bring up before I jump into this list is that there's a lot of videos on the internet about eXp Realty, and I would say if any of them are before 2025, most likely a lot of things have changed. So that's why if you notice on my channel, all of my videos are relatively new. And that's because I went through and cleansed out over 300 videos on my channel because a lot of it had outdated information. So something might have changed or gotten better. And instead of editing that video, I was like, I'm just gonna reshoot it and give all real updated information. So that's why this channel, in my opinion, is the most informative channel out there because I'm doing all of the latest and greatest updates. So the number one thing you need to know when coming to eXp, and this has never changed, is the split structure. We are on an 80-20 split, $10,000 cap. So that means if you get a commission check for 10K, eXp is gonna get 2,000 of that, you're gonna get 8,000 of it, and once you pay in 16,000, you're done for the year. The cool thing is that eXp only retains 50% of that cap. So of 16,000, they give 8,000 back to the agents in the form of revenue share, which we'll talk about more here in a minute. However, when you hit your cap, you then transition into a $250 transactional fee. Once you pay $5,000 in cap transaction fees, then you roll into a $75 transaction fee. Now, there are some things that happen when you hit those stages. And the thing that I've seen that a lot of agents get mixed up on and actually quite honestly hung up on, which I think is very unfortunate, is that they are like, oh, $16,000 is too much. It's like, I've been at eXp now for 5.5 years. I'm a 6-time Icon. So that means every year I've gotten my $16,000 back in stock. I've earned over $1.1 million in revenue share. So that means essentially eXp with the stock and revenue share, they've paid me $1.3 million, $1.1 million in cold hard cash, and then $200,000 in stock. So if I did the math, I pay them about 25 grand a year. So in 5 years, I've paid them 125K, and they've given me back in exchange about $1.3 million. So I'm in a net negative position, and I think that's incredible. No other brokerage on the planet does that. No other brokerage pays the revenue share like eXp does. There's a lot of other models that try. Nowhere near it. The levels are like everything about the model is so much better. And that's because Glenn Sanford, our founder, was the first one in the space. So typically, if you're the first one in this space, you're not giving up equity when you're launching your brokerages. So therefore, you have more to play with essentially. All right. So speaking of stock in icon agents, when you hit your cap and then you pay an additional $5,000 in transactional fees. So like I showed you, once you cap, you go into a $250 transactional fee. When you pay $5,000 through those $250 increments, that's 20 transactions, you become an icon agent. So they send you a notification. I literally just got my 6th one within the last month, and they send you these like really cool awards. And a lot of brokerages, they send you awards and there's no value in there. Most of them are plastic. Ours is $16,000 in stock. And so what happens is they send you this application. You fill it out. It's a form. You basically make sure your mailing address is right, your name's right, all the things. And then they give you $8,000 in eXp stock upon the month that you're recognized. $8,000 just like that. Boom, right into your bank account. Now, I know people are like, well, there's vesting periods and this and that. It says right here, 3-year vesting period. Yes, that's for full payout. However, if you want to sell it early, you just pay a little bit of a penalty. So, I don't know, I've been here for 5.5 years now, and every year I'm consistently vesting my stock, and then my stock has consistently grown year over year. So, so that's $8,000 out of the gate, and then $4,000 for attaining 20 culture points. So what are the culture points? It could be anything from sitting on a Google panel with a couple other icon agents and having a 60-minute conversation. You could teach at one of the eXp regional rallies. You could teach at your local state meeting. You could teach inside of eXp World, be a mentor. There's lots of different things you can do to earn your $4,000 in cultural commitment stock. And this only has a 1-year vesting period. I think it's the easiest thing to do to get those dollars. And then the last piece is the remaining $4,000 is you get $2,000 for attending eXpCon, and then $2,000 for attending the regional rallies. Those are in-person events, and those have no vesting period. So as soon as you attend those events, they give you the stock, and that's that. So I think, the eXp Icon program is phenomenal. Now, the thing a lot of agents do ask me is, can you be an Icon agent if you're on a team or if you're a team lead or whatever? The answer is yes. You can become an Icon agent for being on a team and being a team lead. So if you're a team lead, your split is, or your cap is $16K, and your team agents, depending whether you're a mega icon team or a standard team, is $8,000 for a standard team, $4,000 for a mega team. Now, if you cannot attain an icon agent unless you're paying a full cap. So if you're an agent on a team and you think you're going to do a ton of volume, then it might be worth exploring paying the full $16,000 cap. And honestly, there's different scenarios. I literally just had one yesterday where I sat down with this team owner, and her team agent, she only paid the team leads a 25% referral on deals that the team lead gave that agent. And it just made sense that she went on to the 16K cap. I have a couple of agents on the 16K cap too that are on my team. So it's just variable depending on your situation. And that is why you should reach out, give me a call, or even schedule a Zoom on my Calendly link, my QR code. I'll have them pop it up right here, right now. So that way you can schedule a call if you want to have more conversations about this. But this leads us into number 3, which is trainings and mentorship here at eXp Realty. So I'm over here on the eXp University website, and anybody can go here. It's expuniversity.com. And eXp's training platform is like nothing I've ever seen. A lot of brokerages will try to tell you they have the best training, the best tools, the best technology, the best mentorship, all the things, right? A lot of times it's all a bunch of BS. They don't know, and you always have to ask them, well, what's your definition of the best? I recently went on a podcast, and the guy was saying there's a lot of other people out there that coach in the YouTube space. Like, what makes you the best? Everyone else says they're the best. I said, well, do you ever ask them what their definition of the best is, or like what their standards are of success? And we actually we did a survey amongst a bunch of influencer agents that do coaching. And what we found is that the definition of success to a lot of people is 8 million in sales. Like, that's just their benchmark. And I'm solving for volume, and I'm solving for accelerated growth. And can this be rinsed and repeat in other markets? And that's what the true definition of a cloud-based model is. And so when you're looking at eXp Realty, the thing that really sets them apart is their training paths. Anyone that preaches we're a one brokerage platform and we train everyone on the same thing, it's like, no, that's BS. because someone's going to be getting short change in that scenario. And it's not typically the training set up for one group of agents. And so there's a few other buckets that are getting hosed. Honestly, if you think about segmenting agents out into categories, you have brand new agents or agents that are just getting started. And that's what we call emerging agents here at eXp. Then there's cappers and icons. So these are agents that are let's just say they're in the top 20% of the industry. These agents are hitting their cap every year and they're hitting their icon levels. Then you have teams. So teams require different trainings, and depending where you are at in your team journey requires different trainings as well. Then there's people that are just like all about recruiting. There's bilingual trainings, and then international, and eXp has all of those. And all of this is either in live in the virtual world, or it's done through the on-demand program. So when you go to the training, people used to say like, oh, there's little avatars and this and that. It's like, yes, your avatar. But when you're watching the training, it's a real screen of really somebody in front of your face, like me training like this, and you're seeing it. So the training is really top notch. And if I just like clicked on, begin emerging agents, brand new agents, we have Fast Cap. This is a 6-week fully immersive training program for brand new agents. It's no additional cost, equivalent to like Keller Williams Bold. And the average agent comes out of this with 6.9 appointments and 3.8 contracts signed. That's huge. Nothing else in the industry like it. And then if you're an agent that does less than 3 deals in the last 12 months and you're not on a team, you will be assigned a mentor in your marketplace. And then all of the agent essentials. So like everything that you need to know about starting your business at eXp Realty. And then the last thing I want to touch on is really the capping and icon. They have some really cool specific trainings for the solo agents if you're a capper and beyond. So every month you get a private mastermind with Jared James. He's one of the industry's best social media coaches out there. I put him in the league of us, and I love that. I love his philosophies. He teaches on the same premises that we do. And he always says, the thing that I like about him is like, let's look at results. Let's not just sit here and look at the vanity metrics, right? So the last thing I want to touch on in the training programs here is the team atmosphere here for becoming a team, or if you are a team. Because I remember starting my team and saying like, I wish somebody would just teach me something. Well, what was I looking to? I was looking to my broker to teach me how to build a team, even though he didn't have a team and I thought he knew everything. The reality is a lot of brokerage owners, they're just there running their team, and they have the brokerage because they don't want to pay the split, right, to a broker. So we have Team Leader Academy here. This is the golden standard for running an organization, whether it's for building agents in an organization for revenue share purposes or for your team. And if you're an aspiring team lead and you just love to have a business plan and you want to know exactly where to go from A to Z, this is exactly where it is. Team Leader Academy. It is hands down the best in the industry. If you pulled the top like 250 teams here at eXp, they've all, most likely 99% of them have been or still in Team Leader Academy, because it's built on the EOS system and it teaches you how to like effectively move your business from stage to stage to stage. So since we're talking about training, and like I talked about on-demand training, let's talk about number 4, which is the eXp world. So a lot of agents try to make fun of this outside of eXp. And quite honestly, the thing I love about it is I can get somebody on the line or in person here within a second. Like if I come into the room and I want to go to my broker, I just literally click on broker staterooms and I'll cruise over to, let's just say, Oregon. I'll come into the Oregon broker room and I click on the button here, and there's going to be someone in here that greets me and says, hey, how can we help you here? See, there's someone sitting right here at the desk and they're waiting for me. And then I just literally have to click on I have a question, and I can either see our broker, I can speak to someone about the commissions, or I can speak to someone about compliance in SkySlope. So there is no other training platform in the world that is like this specific platform. Now, if I want to go talk to anyone else or do anything else, I can always cruise into the info sphere here. And we have on-demand people in here. So if you have a question about anything whatsoever, you can come right in here into the expert care room. And you'll even see over here, it says, please click on I have a question, I can assist you. So I click on this. We have 24/7 onboarding support, general 24/7 question help. There's stuff in Spanish, team support, billing support, all the things. However, if you're just like, look, I need somebody and I want to make a phone call, then all you have to do is call the 1-800 number. So you can literally just call the 1-833-303-0610. You can even test it out now if you want. and it has over 100,000 calls a month with over a 97% completion rate. So you can text, call, email your broker. You can come into the eXp world here, go talk to your broker, contract compliance, go to classes, whatever you want. Or you can just pick up the phone and make a phone call, call them directly, or you can call the 1833 number 24/7. But let's shift gears into action item number 5 is revenue share here at eXp Realty. So like I mentioned before, every time eXp receives company dollar, they retain 50% of that company dollar and they give the other 50% out in eXp's revenue share. So last year they paid out over $171 million in revenue share, which is astronomical. And then it's paid out based on the agents in your organization. So let's just say you join me at eXp. You would be my tier 1 agent. And then any agent that you brought on would be my tier 2 agent, your tier 1 agent. And then it's paid out depending on what level that they fall into your organization. The nice thing is when you join eXp as an agent, because before there used to be qualifiers to unlock each level, like you always get paid a fraction of the number, but like to get full payout, you had to have so many agents in each level, right? Or in your front line, which is a tier 1 agent, to unlock level 2. So you used to have 5 in level 1 to unlock level 2, 10 in level 1 to unlock level 3, 15 in level 1 to unlock the next level, so on and so forth. So now they unlock all 3 levels to begin with. So it doesn't matter where they fall in your first 3 levels, all 3 fully pay out. However, if you're a capping agent, you get all 5 levels unlocked for 13 months. So that is the equivalent to, because now you have to have 5 direct recruits to unlock level 4, qualifying agents, which is receiving a commission check of $5,000 or more every 6 months. So you have to have 5 to unlock level 4, and you have to have 10 to unlock level 5. If you cap, you have all 5 unlocked for 13 months regardless. Now you have to have 15 unlocked frontline qualifiers to unlock level 6, and then to unlock level 7, you either need to have 30 frontline qualifying agents in tier 1, or if you're an icon agent, it unlocks tier 7 for 13 months. And then the payout is variable based on each level. So the nice thing I like on level 1 for year 1 is it's $4,000 payout per agent in level 1. And that's not on your team. That's just agents in your organization. So they have this very, very complicated looking graph here. So this is why you should always reach out, schedule a call with me, and we can have a deeper conversation about this and we can plug some numbers in. But you can see, like I said, the first 3 levels are automatically unlocked, so they don't have any qualifying requirements here. See, it says 0 to 4 agents, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 29, 30 plus. So that's 30 agents to unlock all 7 levels. Even if you don't have them unlocked, they pay our portion. So then you see these numbers over here, these percentages. So if you took $8,000, so remember, 16,000 is the cap, 8,000 is the max. They can retain 50% of the company dollar. So if $8,000 was the max, you go 8,000, multiply that by 17.5%, and that's $1,400. So that's the most you'd earn on a level 1 agent if they were full capping and they hit their cap. If let's just say they were a half cap agent, you would divide 1,400 divided by 2, and that's $700. So then you would earn $700. Even if they only hit half of their cap, you would still earn $700. I'm just saying if they were a team agent on a half cap, the most would be $700 right here for their revenue share to you. So it's all based on how much they pay into the company dollar. And then you need 15 agents or more to unlock level 6. And then level 5, you need 10 or more. Level 4, you need 5 or more. And then levels 1, 2, and 3 are automatically unlocked. So it's really beneficial to the agents. And like I said, this can be very complicated. And if you look down in my description, there's actually a link that says revenue share calculator. You can go in there and start messing around with things. But I don't recommend doing that without a call with me, because if you don't know what you're plugging in and you don't understand it, then the numbers can look off. But I would just say, for me, I have 432 active agents in my organization, and my revenue share year over year has been over $300,000 for like the last 3-4 years in a row. So it's very fruitful. And in my direct frontline, I have about 43 frontline agents. So that 43 has multiplied 10x through my organization. But moving into number 6, I want to talk about the other stock awards. So you earn stock by accomplishing milestones here at eXp. So right here, your first transaction every single year, you're going to earn $200 in eXp stock. And when you hit your cap, if you're a full capping agent, not a team agent, if you're a full capping agent, you're going to get $400 in eXp stock. Now, if you attract another agent, whether they're on your team, whether they're in your downline, or if they're on another agent's team, if they list you as their sponsor and they close their first home, you get $400 in eXp stock, which is pretty exciting, right? Now, we have a eXp equity program, which allows you to dedicate 5% of your commissions to buying stock at a 5% discount. So we have over 65% of agents participating in that, and you can opt in and opt out at any point in time you want. And then lastly, you have the Icon Award, and that is worth $16,000 in eXp stock. So the next item, number 7, is the eXp CRM and tech tools. So we have so many great tech tools and CRM of choice. So you get your option of either KV Core, which is now called Bullet Trails, Chime, which is now called Lofty, or Close. So one of 3 CRM options, and you pick and choose. I still stick with Bullet Trails. It's what I've had for a while, and it's what I like. You also get access, you get Assist You platform, which is a brokerage documentation platform, or like it's to track all of the information and data, whether you're recruiting, lead generating, pending transactions, closed transactions, et cetera, et cetera. We get Canva Pro, we get Workplace, Build a Sign, SkySlope, so many different tools and technology that will really help advance your career. And I think it's very, very important to plug in. And when you go through your onboarding here, which we have a daily onboarding call with the eXp, they'll help you get plugged in all the way. And if you need some extra steps and extra help, we can get you plugged in there. But eXp pretty much has it all under wraps. And this is $149 to get signed up. And then after that, it's $85 a month moving forward. If you were to buy all of this a la carte, it would be over $1,500 a month. So a massive value to the agents. So moving into action item number 8, and the things that you should know about before moving to eXp Realty, is our co-sponsorship and sponsorship program. So before, it was all about whoever influenced you the most to come was your sponsor, which is still primarily the way it works. However, eXp enacted a co-sponsorship program, which means now you're allowed to choose 2 sponsors. And the thing I think this is very powerful for an agent watching this is now you get to double your value proposition and double the amount of value that you receive as an agent when coming to eXp Realty. So let's just say you're like, Jesse, you're my sponsor, I want to partner with you. Reach out to me and schedule a call on this QR code right here. And then we'll go through your business, see what you want to do. Let's lay out a path, let's lay out a business plan, and then let's find the co-sponsor that can actually add the most value to your business. I've aligned with the top agents and the best organizational builders here at eXp Realty that have the most value for training, volume, profitability, social media marketing, all the things. If you want to be a coach, you want to be a recruiter, you want to be a mega team builder, a brokerage owner, all the things, we have got you covered from A to Z. And all you have to do is reach out. So, and let's just say you join us and you list 2 co-sponsors, and then you start recruiting agents. You can actually co-sponsor with other agents too. It just depends. I still get a lot of agents that only want to work with me and Jackson, and that's perfectly fine as well. But there's no downfall for you to pick co-sponsors. There's only upside, which I think it's kind of crazy. When I talk to agents, they're like, no, I just want to be in your downline. I want to be in your downline. I'm like, I'm very flattered by that, but you're really missing one of the greatest opportunities you've been given through co-sponsorship. So your organization matters, and not all organizations are created equally. The only thing we're required to do as your sponsor is to help you onboard. Other than that, everything else is on the sponsor's, own accord. So some sponsors offer different trainings, some offer mentorship, some offer coaching. That's like us, since we own the Channel Junkies YouTube for Marketing, the most effective and most elite YouTube training platform in the real estate industry. We have every one of our agents access directly to that. And then we do a weekly coaching for our agents. So now if you want to build a team, then I'd say, all right, this is who we need to co-sponsor with to make sure you're being, set up for success for the long run. Because I'm just telling you right now, brand and volume are the 2 main things that we need to focus on for your business. And if you're a brand new agent, you can fast track. If you're a team brokerage owner, we can accelerate you faster than anyone out there, guaranteed. It's not that we haven't done this. We do this every single day, inside and out. So who you align with matters more than anything. This is why it's very important to set up calls, do interviews, get to know people. This is why I give my Calendly link right here. Or you can reach out, text message, email, phone calls. We're going to set up a Zoom like this. It's going to be me. A lot of people you schedule calls with, it's not them. Don't let that fool you. I am going to be the one that shows up on that call. The ninth thing that you need to know about joining eXp Realty is really, it's about the fact that you're a 1099 employee. So eXp Realty, if you're a brokerage owner, and this just goes to like state and federal law, is you have to be either a group or a team. So Dow Property Group or Dow Realty Group, brokered by eXp Realty, or Dow Realty Group, and then I just put the eXp letters down below. You just have to have those three little letters, eXp, and you either have to be a realty or a group. That's the federal law. eXp cares more about your business and you building brand you. That's why they say that, we are the most agent-centric brokerage on the planet. There's all these brokerages out there that have all these crazy criterias and, rules and blah, 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 blah. Not eXp. It's very simple and straightforward here, and I absolutely love it. And then rolling right in along into the last thing is number 10, this is where the pros go to grow. You see, why does eXp Realty consistently attract top-tier talent? And I can go through the list. 2025 Real Trends announced eXp is the number one brokerage by volume or by sides, the number two brokerage by volume. In the last 5 years, they were the number one brokerage for volume and sides. You guys, eXp is the golden standard of real estate. And the reason that people are so gravitated towards eXp is because we have momentum, we have trust, we've got the leadership, we have the support, we got the tools, we got the training, we got the technology, we're leading in AI. If I just go down that list alone, it is worth its weight in gold. I would pay double the amount of cap. I'd probably pay 5 times the amount of cap to be in this model and be exactly where we are because we're positioned perfectly. Yes, there's a lot of rip-off and duplicated models out there, and I'm not going to trash on them. I'm just saying success leaves clues. And when your brokerage does an average of 6.9 transactions per agent, but the next closest one in this space is under 3, they're in the 2s, there's a massive separation here. And I always say it's separation season, and that's exactly what we're seeing here every single day. And this is why eXp stock was upgraded to a buy stock, is because number one, their international growth has been doubled year over year, doubles every single year. Number two is that we consistently see top teams and brokerages come to eXp and then grow and scale. Number three is our profitability. We're the most profitable real estate brokerage on the planet, and we are a growth company. We're not a profit company. It's crazy when you do the right thing, the right things happen. And remember, bigger isn't better. Better is better, profitable is better. And when people use vanity metrics to showcase their success, that you're only fooling people that don't understand the business. So when you try to say, oh, we're up 500%, well, going from 1 sale to 5 sales would put you up 500%. Would you rather go from a million sales to 1,100,000 sales? That is a way bigger feat. And then the last reason that eXp was upgraded is because they are an innovator in the AI space. And things are moving lightning speed with AI, and eXp is right on the forefront. They went to the OpenAI conference. They went to the Google AI conference. We have our chief technology officer, our innovation strategist. We got Glenn Sanford is the one that created eXp. We got Leo Pareja is the CEO. And a lot of people are like, Jesse, like when I was being heavily recruited to Real Broker, LPT, all the things. I'm like, look, if a company is very focused on culture and that's all they care about, there typically isn't a lot of success to follow. And that's like one of the main reasons I never went to Real Broker is I absolutely loved what Sharon stood for, the former president of Real. And he resigned from the presidency role because he said he was going to spend time with his family. And then 6 months later, he took the presidency role with Alex Hermosi's company. And I think that was a great move. And then Sharon stayed on as a board member at Real. But that was the reason I never went there. He would have been the main reason I went there. But then I told everyone that I spoke with, I said, Sharon is not going to be here longer than a couple of years. I saw the writing on the wall. I come from corporate America. You can see these things from a mile away. So I love that eXp has so much momentum. The leadership is solid. And then there's a lot of these rip off and duplicate wannabe startup models that are all low cost models. Like, let's be real. When you look at the revenue share paid out, not only per agent, but like as a total brokerage, it's almost embarrassing for these other companies to even try to put themselves in the same classification as eXp. And they also try to use eXp as like their springboard. They always say, we're just like eXp, but we're better, or we're just like eXp, but we're what eXp wishes they were. It's like, no, eXp is what eXp wants to be. We're a meritocracy that kicks butt and takes names. We are the number one in every single category. Go check it, check the reel in the scoreboard. And that's the thing that I love here. And having Leo as a leader that paints that picture and scoreboards everything. Look, we've had people that have said, and this is just kind of giving you guys a little insight behind the scenes. We've had people cry to us, agents, saying that they weren't being treated as if they were a massive influencer or whatever it may be. The reality is we get graded on a couple specific criteria. Number one is your transactional units. Number two is your volume units. So like how many dollar sales. We have a top 250 list in both categories for volume and transactional side, just like Real Trends does. And then we have a number for recruiting. So those are the three things that we get benchmarked on here. And if you want to qualify, and then there's this cappers and icon agent groups, right? So we've had agents say like, I deserve to belong in the influencer group for recruiting when they have small organizations, but they have like a massive following on social media. So they're just trying to use that as leverage, and then they don't get their way, and then they go off crying. And then another brokerage says, hey, we'll promote you, we'll put you on the stages and blah, 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 blah. Well, they didn't earn any of that. And guess what? The people that are surrounded by that are even like tricked into those methods. Those are the type of people they're surrounding themselves with. And I see it happening all the time. That's why I love the hard line in the sand here at eXp. It's either earn yourself into the room or you're not coming. And before, people used to be able to show up and come to these events and they never stop them. Now, if you don't have your badge, guess what? You get the boot. And that's the way it should be. And, you know, we all get to see clear as day, if that's important to you, how you can progress and get into those rooms, right? But nothing's just handed out to us here. That's why I love real estate to begin with, is it leveled the playing field for everyone. You can be an 18-year-old getting into real estate, get your license, and go out there and start selling houses the same way somebody that's my age can go out and get their license and start selling real estate, or someone that's my mom's age can go out and start selling real estate. We're all created equally. And that is what I love about here at eXp, is we're all created equally. So if you want to have a call about eXp, real estate in general, there's only one thing you got to do. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even schedule a call right here on this QR code. This will link directly to my Calendly. Book a call, let's have an open conversation, see if it's the right fit. And until next time, we'll catch you later.